At Florida, of course, we've got a situation, Brent, where Austin Armstrong takes a pit stop at Alabama where he was going to settle in as an outside linebackers coach, and suddenly, boom, he's the main guy at Florida. He takes that opportunity. It's a great one, of course, to try to correct that Gators defense that, despite all the criticism of Will Muschamp as a head coach there at Florida, we have not seen a Gator defense that's been a elite unit since he left campus, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that very much, and that's something that has got to change with them, and I think Armstrong can do that. He's only 29 years old. Mark, how about being a coordinator in the SEC at 29? That's amazing to say the least. But look, this guy is really well thought of. I mean, what he did at Southern Miss last year, I mean, they were in the top 10 nationally in multiple categories defensively. So they're very excited with what they've got. Now, he had a previous relationship at Louisiana with Billy Napier. So that's how these guys came to know each other. And I think it's a great hire. And he only had a cup of coffee at Alabama, but then he decided to come to Florida with Napier, which I think has got a lot of folks excited. I think what I've heard that he will do is they'll be more aggressive, probably blitz more often, and be able to get to the quarterback a little bit more. So that's going to be important. I thought another interesting change was Russ Callaway, who is named the tight end coach. He was on the staff more as an analyst as much as anything else. The thing that intrigues me about Russ Callaway, he did have some time with LSU as an analyst too, but he was at Samford from 2017 to 2019. And people may not follow Samford, and I get that, meaning Samford from, not Stanford, but Samford from Birmingham, they had a really good offense and a much better team there than some people may understand. So I think that's a good hire from your staff to make him tight ends coach. Would be interesting to see where that goes. Big game to start the season again with Utah. Now, we have heard, I think you probably have too, that Utah game at Utah this year, was at Florida last year, is going to be on Thursday night of Labor Day weekend, which will make it a very attractive game to say the least. So a lot of work to do at Florida. They made a lot of changes, but I still think Napier's going to get the job done there. I think he's still a very good coach. He's brought in a lot of analysts, was mentored by Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney. It's two of the best. And it's going to take some time because he just had to make some hotel changes in that roster. He had to get some guys who wanted to be there, Mark. They're going to be good running the ball. Their offensive line is going to be good. Graham Mertz at quarterback, we understand, has been accurate. So it's going to be a fascinating year in Gainesville with that. And I also want to mention Jamarcus Weston has moved from a wide receiver to defensive back. So as much criticism as they got last year offensively, defensively was a real issue for them too. So glad to see the emphasis on that side of the ball, Mark.
Well, unfortunately, Anthony Richardson didn't accomplish a whole lot for them, and I don't want to discard or dismiss his career in any such fashion. It wasn't necessarily his issue or him to blame. He was still growing into the position, developing as a quarterback, but we saw the skills on display in the NFL draft or the NFL combine over the weekend. And of course, he's going to be in that top 5 to 10 range, we would think, after what he displayed over the weekend. Always enjoy the conversation with Brent Beard. You can catch him on First Coast News and also College Sports Today. And Brent, of course, you've got a podcast that's available on a regular basis as well.
Yeah, that's right. My friend Travis Ryer and I, he is the senior analyst at with Bama Online. And we've done one. We've basically done radio for years, and now we're doing a podcast. It's called Second Helpings with the SEC and Second Emboldened. That's from a Leonard Skinner album. Travis is a music aficionado, as a lot of sports guys are. So we've really enjoyed doing that, and we try to do that on a regular basis as often as we can.